Hey, it's your favorite tech guy here. It's Ross from Northern Technology Services, and in this month's Ross's Corner and newsletter, we're going to talk about some more fun stuff. Malvertising is infecting Google searches. Malvertising is a fancy word for malware advertising, and I know this is something that a lot of people have already heard me kind of talk about if we've had a conversation, especially about perusing the web. I know we have some pesky DNS blockers out there that actually kind of help prevent this from being an issue, but it does create some confusion because when we click on some of those links in Google searches, we think we're clicking on the website, but really we're Google searching it, and a lot of those links we're clicking on are ads, and then they come back as blocked because we're blocking them as ads, and we're trying to prevent this malvertising that we're talking about. Now, before we get too involved in this stuff, first off, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, some good time with their family, good time with their friends. I know if I eat another cookie or piece of pie right now, I'm done for. Just take me out back with the cattle. All right. So malvertising, Google ads, things to watch out for. I can't stress this enough. Don't click the first thing you see on Google or Bing or whatever search website that you're using. One of the other things we're talking about here is event logging, the importance it is for small businesses. I know this is something where it's, we think big businesses do this, but really small businesses should also have event logging in place. I know we enable auditing on Microsoft 365 tenant sites, enable auditing in AD servers and things like that. As well as what's cool is our Microsoft 365 security tool also goes through and does event logging and sign-in logging and tracking, so we can see where people are accessing things from and so on and so forth, as well as even going deeper into auditing into shadow IT and what platforms and things like that people may be logging into. Do your team members need to be logging into Slack, for example, with their company information? Maybe not. Productivity boosting settings. There's a lot of settings in Windows 11, and there has been kind of in Windows 10 and some of the other iterations where you have the capability to take that power into your hands and kind of go through. Like startup apps is a big one. As we progress and we use different apps and things like that, sometimes they want to start up. But maybe you don't always need to be using Adobe right away, or like we've got one tool we love, Snagit, we use a lot of, that has an auto startup. Go in there and turn that off. But then there's a lot of other options and things like that, and Windows 11 is progressing more into putting the power into your hands a little bit and letting you customize that experience a little bit more, and even more so as we utilize Azure AD and things like that with logins. Data breaches are a big one. There's some things you can do when you get a notice that your data was breached. Obviously the first thing that you should be doing if you do ever get any of those notices, like Equifax or Newegg, just there's been so many of them over the years. Park Mobile, especially here in the Petoskey area, that's a big one. They were breached. If you use Park Mobile app for the parking meters and things like that, when those breaches happen, making sure that you're going through, changing your password, stuff like that, and fortifying it. So we got some cool stuff, some cool little blog posts and some articles in there that have some things that you can do to kind of, help yourself out, learn a couple things, learn some tips and tricks, and also increase those best practices. There's some fun stuff coming out. Unified Teams Calendar. This is awesome. I was super excited when I walked in the office a few weeks ago and I saw this announcement and I read the email. Tested it out. I've got the preview enabled myself. We all do. The new Unified Teams calendar is sweet. It brings that same look and feel that's in Outlook Web and Outlook New today, and brings those right into Teams, so you can see all of your shared calendars. You can create stuff just like how it is. No more of those little purple squares and that different weird feel. And with that combining into Outlook New, I know we sent out an email blast on this. I'm going to talk about this again. So starting January 6th, Microsoft is going to start auto rolling that out. There is going to be a little toggle on there, so when you do get that, you open up Outlook and go, wow, this is different. This is not the Outlook I'm used to. Look in the top right corner. There's going to be a little toggle switch. Grab that guy if you really don't like it. But I'm going to highly recommend you get in there, you dive into it, and it is a great thing. This is the biggest change Outlook has made in 20 years. Personally, we've been using this for 2 years now since it entered a preview state. I can tell you every single email you've gotten from me has come from Outlook New. It looks exactly like Outlook Web. And it's the same experience too if you're a Mac user, and if you've been using Mac for a while. This has been on Mac already because of the issues with Outlook and traditional Outlook, what we're now calling Outlook Classic. So be on the lookout for that, the new Outlook experience. It is a fun experience. It does kind of bring things together and open up a lot more functionality and ease of use. And then finally with that, then we've also got the help desk button. End of life is coming. We're going to be discontinuing the help desk button in favor of our NTS portal, because before the help desk button, it gave you the opportunity to at least create the ticket and say, hey, we've got a problem. And it did do cool stuff like send us some screenshots. We could see like the last 20 mouse clicks or whatever it was. Go through for troubleshooting. But this didn't bridge the communication gap, and that's the big piece. So by discontinuing the help desk button and encouraging everyone to utilize the portal, this gives you the opportunity to log in as yourself. You get full access to our knowledge base. You get access to submit help requests, to see all of your existing help requests, as well as go through, we've got tons of university courses in there. They're making changes as university courses. We've got some quick starts in there, and then more on the account side, the capability, you see your invoices, you can see some reports, and just get a little more deep dive as we really focus on that transparency and the bridging the gap. And oftentimes we find a lot of some of those questions, those quick questions that may come up, can likely be answered within the portal, and kind of going from there. So when you do look at that email with the newsletter, we've got some links in there as well. Obviously, you probably have already gotten a lot of emails from us regarding the portal. When you do get enrolled in there, we do send out a chain of emails which walk you through how the portal works and accessing some features and things like that. Holiday notices. So right now we are shutting down at 1 o'clock New Year's Eve, and which is today as we post this video up, and we will be back. The help desk will be back on Thursday. We're going to pause all add moves and changes until January 6th, and then we will start reevaluating those and moving forward here. But our support team is going to be available as soon as we are done, just taking one more day holiday there. And of course, if you do need emergency support, pick up the phone, call us 231-881-3123 or 844-959-5044 toll free. And we are there for emergency services and after hour services, even during the holiday. With that, quick, short, sweet, thanks for taking the time out, and let's do this. I'm ready to go into the new year. I think we all are. And let's get running. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.